You have a big head. Your head is so big that you are not able to even get it unswollen to get some common sense put into it. Wanted to get into this video about Meghan and the bullying, and more specifically also to talk a little bit about some things that I think are relevant to the things that I do on my channel as well. So as we all know, Meghan has been accused of bullying. There was an investigation. Looking at what happened, Meghan is the subject of a review allegation that she has actually bullied staff. The findings could have blown up whichever way you want to point this. Now, Mr. Otis is snoring in the background, so apologies if that's bothering you, but he just loves being in here sleeping while I talk, because my nonsense to him helps him sleep. An email leaked to the UK broadcast The Times days before Prince Harry and Meghan's Oprah interview last year has suggested that the Duchess of Sussex is bullied two personal assistants out of the royal household. Now, Buckingham Palace announced that it would look into the allegations and said workplace bullying would not be tolerated. However, the Sunday Times actually reported that the findings would not be published. The revelation led to social media speculation that the review had been kept quiet because it had exonerated Meghan. Either way, it was just not going to be good. Many of the staff who worked for Meghan at the time are no longer employed by the palace and have stories to tell that have not been printed. And I remember specifically when she had most recently gotten the new security lady who was in charge of her security. I can't remember her name, apologies, but she actually was only with Meghan and them for 6 months, I believe, and then she left. She couldn't take it. And when you look at people coming and leaving a position so quickly, something is wrong, because these are good jobs. These are people that stay in these jobs for years. And if they're coming into a position and they're not staying, they're not happy. And the one common denominator is Meghan coming into the royal family. Her staff has quit. And also, the royal family may have also done things that have not exonerated them, because perhaps there was bullying going on and they never did anything about it. They never addressed Meghan and the way she was treating the employees. And that is not good for the royal family either, because they had a due diligence to investigate any wrongdoings. But it looked like to a lot of people, it wasn't until Meghan went on Oprah that the royal family decided to then follow up on these bullying allegations, when it should have happened from the very beginning. And they may have been trying to save Meghan, save her from public ridicule by not addressing the things that she was doing to staff. And so this could also be a thing that, hey, Meghan's either wrong or the royal family's either wrong. And I guess from these findings, they want to keep it suppressed. They don't want to have it leaked. They don't want to have it published, although it could be leaked. They don't want to officially publish it, and also to protect the people that have brought these allegations, because we know they will get the wrath of a lot of people, wackadoos out there that are not happy about anyone accusing Meghan of anything. And so they don't want their names out there. They don't want to have anything put over their head that shows they were less than supportive of Meghan. And that right there in itself just tells you that the people that go after people, most specifically also Samantha Markle, the vitriol, the hate, the unrelenting bullying that the fans of Meghan do to people in itself is a sign that I think Meghan and Harry need to address. If they're going to address people bullying them as well, they need to address their fans bullying people, because the bullying that the fans of Meghan's and Harry's do to people is criminal. It's criminal. And the things that they have done to Samantha Markle in particular, I've seen it. It is criminal behavior. It's doing things that you should be locked up for. It's not voicing opinion about something that you don't like, or you're upset because maybe Samantha said something that you didn't like. But to go to the means of stalking and hacking and putting out information that is private, that is so beyond wrong. The whole idea that there even had to be policies and procedures written up because of what happened when Meghan was there tells you in itself that this is a person that is not out to do good. She's not out to do anything that is going to put other people in a good position of employment. It's going to be something that is going to elevate her by any means necessary. And we've heard her father say it, how she is very relentless and demanding. And I'm not saying that it's not okay to want and to expect things out of people that work for you, but it's how you go about it. And I think Meghan has demonstrated bully-like behavior with her family. I've heard stories, even the one story about when Samantha reached out to phone Meghan, and Meghan said, "How did you get this phone number?" And she said how that she used an explicit word, but she said, you know, "How did you get this phone number?" And she hung up on Samantha. This is a woman who is put herself in a position to get to where she is now by any means necessary. You can look at how a person is in character by how they treat their loved ones. So certainly by how they're going to treat people that are working for them is not going to be any better. Look at the evidence. And the reason why I speak out about this more particularly is because Meghan has a lot that I can relate to. And I thought in the beginning she was going to do the most good, but she's not. And yet this report has come up, and it just tells you in itself that this even being an issue, Meghan is not out to do good things. She's just not. And this is, of course, my opinion, right? It's my opinion. You have a big head. Your head is so big that you are not able to even get it unswollen to get some common sense put into it. It's like, can someone put some common sense into this woman's head? Can some of the swelling just come down just a little bit to help her learn something? Can she just learn a little bit and be a little bit better? Can that happen? Because this whole nonsense that she has thrown up around this bullying, that speaks volumes. That for hundreds of years, they've hired people. I know there was some kind of controversy around Charles and his employees. You know, okay, some things pop up here and there. But the fact that they are rewriting policy on how to treat staff, does that not tell you a lot about the character of Meghan Markle? That tells you everything you need to know. She's not trying to be better, folks. And so keeping this report suppressed might be a good thing. Now, if it gets leaked, that's another thing. If someone just kind of just slip it to you, like, look, just slip it to somebody like on the down low, okay, that's another thing. But officially putting it out there, it just might not be good, because it's just going to dredge up a lot of back and forth fighting, you know, and they're going to try, Meghan and Harry are going to try to protect themselves, and the royal family are trying to protect themselves, and it just gets nasty. And at the end of the day, it really is about the queen. She's in the twilight years of her life. Does she really need all of this? Is it really necessary? We have so much going on in the world, and people that get so much, they get above and beyond the privileges to do amazing things. And what do? They go out acting like wackadoos and making life miserable for other people because they got a wackadoo brain. And it's just appalling and it's upsetting. And so with this report, it says a lot, but there's a lot that Meghan needs to learn still. And the information that is still to come out is going to be mind-blowing. Tom Bower's book in itself, he has already said that the things that he has discovered about said woman, really unbelievable stuff. She should be sweating bricks, but she ain't sweating bricks. But She should be. She might be, because of the things that are going to be coming out. They'll try to spin it any kind of way to not make it what it really is. They're going to keep fighting. And I don't think the royal family needs to be dealing with all this, because they've got enough going on, especially the whole jubilation around the success of the Jubilee and how they did give a slight little smack down to Harry and Meghan when they came. That's a good thing. They deserve that. Well, they learned from that smackdown. Well, they learned from being in the second row Harry in Santa Barbara. Well, he learned from his little smackdown he got when he came over to the UK for the Jubilee. Or will he retaliate and not learn and just be like, well, shoot, I'm gonna get back at them. Look what they did to me. I'm now called second row Harry in my Santa Barbara, in my little town of Santa Barbara. He might not be liking that too much, and it might have made him upset to want to retaliate. But, you know, what can you do? At some point, maybe they will stop and be like, oh, you know, maybe that smackdown was good for me. I know sometimes when I get things thrown at me and out of ignorance or whatever, because it's never to be intentionally disrespectful. You know, I have to think, okay, I need to look at things differently, because there's so many ways to look at things. There's so many different perspectives. And I ask that the people that do give me a hard time sometime, I'm an American. I have never lived I have lived in the UK, but I have never experienced life as a British citizen with a head of state like the Queen and have the certain appreciation for it the way a citizen would. And I think sometimes you have to look at, you know, where I'm coming from too, to understand that I can be better. But sometimes you guys be trying to smack me down real hard. And I think you need to try to roll that in a little bit to be a little bit more teachable in your response. Because sometimes people just need to know better so they can do better. Hello. Okay, enough of that. But anyway, so a royal source told Newsweek that at the time, the nature of the palace's double bind when they had expressed concerns such as a disclosure might breach former staff members' data rights under the EU law. So this is another reason why they did not want to leak or get information out there publicly. In other words, some palace staff clearly have a story they want to tell, but if their experiences are published, the world via the Bully Review, Meghan and Harry will mount a spirited counterattack. And this is what they don't want to have to deal with. But we know we've got a relentless woman on hand here who's trying to get the most out of her celebrity, and she is really going to keep going there. And I don't think she has the ego to try to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's not going to say, I'm sorry, folks. She's going to say, what you say? Oh, you calling me a bully? Okay, I'm going to show you a bully. And then it's going to be full-blown World War III, you know, when it comes to Meghan and Harry and what they're trying to do. It just can never just get to a good place. And I think the Queen deserves that. Does she not? Does she not deserve to have some of this just go away quietly? I do. I think she deserves that. What people need to understand is that the palace is often described in the media as though it is a single homogeneous entity. In reality, it is made up of multiple households, with the Queen and minor royals at Buckingham Palace and Charles and Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, at Clarence House. And this is what I find important, that sums it really all up. We know that Prince William, this is a man who's out to do the most good. We know that he tried to warn his brother about Meghan in the most sensitive way possible, but Harry didn't want to look at it that way. He blew up at his brother for saying anything about Meghan. So Harry doesn't want to listen. Meghan doesn't want to listen. But at the end of the day, Prince William is going to be the future king. And this is how he felt about Meghan. When they came to work, when they were all together trying to make it work, what happened? What did we see from William's side? Well, William felt strongly about Meghan and the need for her subversive agenda to be removed from the operations of the British monarchy, which she did not appear to understand or respect. I can give her to not understand, But to not respect it is where they drew the line. That's not okay. He certainly wanted Meghan removed from the very start. And from the harmonious joint household that he and his brothers had operated together for the best part of a decade, William simply did not want Meghan or Harry around anymore. They had to go. William threw Harry out. He said, "You got to go." And I'm sure he said in his very British, polite way, but essentially that's what he said through my filter. He said, "You got to go." And he may have been thinking, "You and that skank, y'all gotta go." In an unspoken kind of way, he may have said that. It may be well if the palace were to publish its findings that whatever the report said, one side or another would feel let down and open fire in the media, or in Harry's case, in his upcoming memoir. Because we know he has a book coming out, but so does Tom Bauer. And we can't wait for that, because he spoke to a lot of people that have first counter information that they are going to allow to be published in his book. And that's going to tell us all we need to know. Arguments that now date back 4 years would continue to tarnish the reputation of the monarchy at a time when it escaped the Winfrey interview less damaged than they may have expected. Because that, to me, people just didn't know who Meghan was. They were just like, who's this? What? When they saw her on Oprah, they were like, well, who is this woman? Who is she? Oh, she married Prince Harry. Oh, and Prince Harry is the son of Princess Diana. Okay, now I know who she is. Because I'm telling you, that they probably thought it was going to do a lot of damage, but you know, a lot of people in America, they were just like, huh, what, who? she, oh, okay. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan, they remain unpopular, as we know, in Britain. More than a year later, while the Queen was the UK's most popular public figure in the first quarter of 2022. So the Queen remains popular. Harry and Meghan, their popularity has declined, and they are trying to save themselves from the negative publicity. And this report is not helping. So they're going to come out fighting, because this, as I see it, is everything that Meghan is working for. She's working towards world domination. She is trying to gather all of her little pieces and to keep it going, and to not let too much be known, because then the secret is out. So she's paying a lot of money to cover up the bad things that she's done. And if you think about it, if you're really a good person, then you gotta pay people to make you look good.